Under cost accounting, we are doing the chapter called material. We are not doing activity based costing, we are doing priority basis A, B as well as C. The next thing will be your EOQ, economic order quantity. It is attached to the bin, so it is not attached to the bin, it is in the cost office. Hello everyone, this is your Adarsh sir, lecturing Vidyashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. So we are in the session 1 of your topic called cost accounting. Under cost accounting, we are doing the chapter called material. Now, so we're done with your cost sheet as well as your cost accounting. The basic concepts we have completed. Under basic concept, you have learned the cost sheet. Under cost sheet, we have direct material, direct labor as well as overhead. So, whatever cost sheet you have prepared, according to that, your whole syllabus is covered. First thing in the cost sheet, you have mentioned material. So, material is one of the chapter. Now, the second one, your direct labor, that is also chapter number 3. Once you're done with labor, we go for overhead. Overhead, it is nothing but indirect expenses. Overhead also we have a separate chapter. Then once you're done with your overhead, we will go for operating costing. Operating costing also, it is a separate topic. Whatever cost sheet you have prepared, the same cost sheet is subdivided into many chapters. Now, so what will be the agenda for the day? The agenda is very simple. We will learn stock levels. So the first problems will be on stock levels. Then EOQ, economic order quantity. And the third topic is ABC analysis. So what do you mean by ABC analysis? So it is not activity based costing. We are not doing activity based costing. We are doing priority basis A, B as well as C. So we will discuss while doing ABC analysis. Now, if you're done with ABC, we will go for bin card. Now, this is one of the most important for your examination. Your 5-mark questions will be asked, what do you mean by bin card? R. What is ABC analysis? R. So, problems on EOQ. So, whatever topics I am discussing today, everything your 5-mark theory as well as practical questions. Now, the stock level, except stock level, everything comes under 5-mark category. Now, stock level, this is your 10-mark question. Under stock level, you will calculate what is the maximum stock level, minimum, average, as well as your least stock level. Or else we call it as danger stock level. Now, so first we will discuss your stock levels. So where we use your stock levels normally, if you are running a production or manufacturing department. Now, if you want to manufacture something, first thing you need, that is raw material. Now, with the help of raw material, we will convert into work in progress. From work in progress, finally it will be converted into finished goods. Now, whatever raw material you will bring for production, that we have to find out whether we should go for reorder or else what is your stock level. Should we order or else whatever you have, that is sufficient. Now, for your production, you don't have raw material. That is called danger level. If the raw materials are shortage, are not available for your production purpose, then we call it as it is a danger level. So, in today's session or your stock level, we will understand what do you mean by danger level, average stock level, minimum stock level as well as maximum stock level. If you go for maximum stock level, you may think that whatever raw material, if you buy in bulk, so your cost will be less. Again, I'll repeat. Now, If you go for only one or single unit, the cost will be more. If you go for more number of units, the cost will be reduced. Now, so if you go for larger quantity, raw materials are available on time, so the cost will be less. You may think that everything going under cost. The answer is no. Why? Because if you bought or bring more raw materials, the excess raw materials you have to keep it in a godown. So you have to pay rent of godown. That is your additional expenditure. Now, along with that, if you go for bulk order, there may be chances of damage or pilferage. Pilferage means will be theft by somebody. So these are the advantages as well as disadvantages we have if it is a maximum stock level. Now, we don't want maximum stock level, we'll go for minimum stock level. Is it good or bad? The answer is you have even if you go for minimum stock level, at the time of production, you will be having shortage. You have to stop your production. Now, you have to pay wages to your labor even though they are not producing units. So these are the disadvantages. But you can save the cost of godown. You can save the pilferage. So these are the advantages you have. Now, every kinds of stock level you have advantages as well as disadvantages. Now, we will understand what do you mean by stock level. Now, the quantity or number of goods or raw materials kept on the premises of your shop or business. Now, stock level means what? How much raw material quantity you have in your godown. Now, staff will be able to instantly check stock level, sell by dates and whether a product has been paid for. Now, one person should be there. He must be called as stock manager or else he must be called as stock in charge. What is his duty? His duty is very simple. If he has issued raw materials to the production department, from the stock level he has to reduce. Or he purchased from outsiders, he need to increase his stock level. The actual quantity available in the godown, he need to maintain. So this is a job of storekeeper or else we can call it as stock in charge. Now, this will be your 5-mark question for theory as well as if it comes for problem, it will be 10 mark. The next thing will be your EOQ, economic order quantity. Now, this is a very important as well as your 5-mark question. Now, what does EOQ stands for? EOQ stands for economic order quantity. Now, so we have a small formula for EOQ that will be square root of 2 into A multiplied with O. The denominator will be called as C. Now, A stands for annual consumption, O for cost of placing an order, C for cost of carrying per annum. Now, before we go to your actual introduction or actual concept, I'll give you simple example. What does EOQ stands for? Now, for example, for my class, I'll tell you to bring a question bank. Now, again I'll repeat. For my class, I inform all the students to bring question bank. Now, what is the cost of the question bank? Example, it is 50 rupees per question bank. How much it is? 50 rupees per question bank. Now, if there are 10 students are there, how much does it cost? 50 into 10, the cost will be 500. Now, so individually if you have to go and bring, the cost of the book how much? 50. Along with that, transportation for individual. Individual has to go to shop and has to bring book. Individual will spend around 20 rupees for fuel expenses. Now, what is the book price? 50. What is your fuel expenses? It is almost 20. So total how much you spent? For single book individually you have spent 70 rupees. Along with 70, you need to make a call whether the book is available or not. For making call, just imagine it is an example. You made 5 rupee expenses. So your call charges 5 rupee. What is the total cost of individual book? It is 75. Now again I'll repeat, your book price is 50. Your transportation to bring that question bank from the shop 20. Placing an order, your call send something, it will be 5 rupee. Total how much you spent? 75 rupee per student. Now how many students are there? 10. In this 10 into 75, 750 is your total cost to bring the book. Now, we have not applied EvoQ. We have not applied any cost technique. Now, so what is the total cost of 10 books? It is 750. Now, the same example, we will apply EvoQ. For the same example, we will apply EvoQ, economic order quantity. Normal cost is 750. If you apply EvoQ, what will happen? Now, for example, instead of informing you to bring book, I'll tell that you give me 45 rupees, I'll bring you book. You give me how much? 45. Why? Because it is 45. If I take in bulk, the 50 rupees book, I'll get it for 40. 50 rupees book, I'll get it for 40. Now, I go alone. Now, my transportation cost is 20. My order cost is 5. The book cost, how much is the book cost? For me, it is 40. 40 into 10, how much it is? 400. Now, 400 plus 20 plus 5. 425 is my cost. Now, if I go alone to bring 10 books, for me, the cost is 425. If you go individually, the cost is 750. See, if you apply EvoQ, the cost will be less. If you don't apply EvoQ, the cost will be more. This is the best example for your economic order quantity. Whatever unit you purchase or quantity you purchase, you have to control the cost. That is called as EvoQ. If you go individual, your cost is 750. If I go, my cost is around 425 for 10 books. This is called EvoQ. Now, we will do more number of problems in EvoQ. In this, you have A. A stands for annual consumption. Per annum, how much quantity you require. Cost of placing an order. Each time if you want to place an order, how much do you spend? Then, cost of carrying per annum. You have to carry that and you have to keep it in godown. What is the carrying cost as well as your godown expenses? Everything will be keep it in mind. What is the best possible to save or control your cost? That is called EvoQ. Hope you understood. This is your 5-mark problem as well as theory. Next one is ABC analysis. If you look at the picture, you will understand what is ABC analysis. Now, ABC means we give priority. Now, A means A category, B category as well as C category. The most important, we call it as A. The medium or second part will come to B. The least will be considered as C. I'll give you simple example. With you have 10 grams of gold, and second one you have books, and the third one your slippers or else sandals. Now, total 3 things you have. One will be 10 grams of your gold, and another one will be the books, and the third one your shoe. Now, where do you keep your gold? Normally we keep in the almirah or in the locker. Where do you keep your books? Will be in cupboard or else somewhere on the table. Where do you keep your shoes? It will be outside. Now, you categorize ABC for this. Yes. Gold is A, your book will be B, and your shoe will be C. Why? Because you will give priority to gold, then book, then for shoe. Similarly, in industry or company, we give priorities. Like the items are units which are very expensive, we will keep it safely. The items are units which are not much expensive, moderate, we will call it as B category. The items which are least price and easily available, we categorize as C. That is called ABC costing. In the costing our factory also, whatever materials you have, we categorize as A, B as well as C. This is called ABC costing. Now, under this technique, materials are classified according to their values. As I told you, according to their values, we categorize A, B as well as C. Now, that costing more valuable material are given attention, which are more expensive, we will give more attention. And the stock will be classified or grouped according to their value, such as high, medium as well as low valued. It is also known as always better control. Clear? Yes. So this is very important for your theory. You will not get any problems on this. So you will get only theory part. Now, under group A, items with high value. Under group B, items with medium value. Under group C, items with low valued. Clear? Yes. This is only your ABC analysis. Now, we'll go for bin card. This is the most important. Out of last year 10 question papers, 7 to 8 question papers, you can find this question. What do you mean by bin card? I'll give you simple example before we go to the definition. Now, bin card, it is nothing but, for example, you are running a stationery shop. What you are running? You are running a stationery shop. You have a big box. In the box, you have 100 pens. You have a box. In that box, how many pens you have? 100 pens you have. Now, every time 5 or 6 you will sell. Every 1 hour or every 2 hours, 2 or 3 pens you make sales. Now, will you count every time how much you have? Or else by just looking at the box, can you tell me how many pens left in the box? The answer is no. Then what you should do? You have to keep a small card. In the card, what you should do? You have to mention in the card, I have 100 pens. Now, one boy came and he took 5 pens from the box. Then what you should do? You have to rub that 100, you have to make it 95. So how much you have pen now? 95. Again, another boy came, he took 10 pens. Take that sheet, scratch and make it as 85. Now, how much you have? 85. Every time when somebody buys means you have to deduct. If you purchase more, another 50 pence means you have to add. As soon as the inflow or outflow of pens, you have to record in a small card. That is called bin card. Your box is called as bin. Whatever card inserted in the box, we call it as card. Bin card. So that easily you can identify, in this box I have so much of pen. So this is practiced in every industries, so that they need not to count every time. So if somebody takes 10 means, again you have to sit and count how many pens are there. If somebody takes another 5, again sit and count how many. Instead of that, make a habit of a small chit. In the chit, you write down 95 minus 5, 90. Again minus 10, now it is 80. Minus 2, it is 78. If you write like this, by looking at that card, you will identify how many pens are there in the box. That is called bin card. Bin means it is a box. Card means it is a small slip. Now, as per the definition, bin card place, shelf, rack or any help of shortage container where materials are kept as a card is attached to each bin. Normally what happens, you can keep inside the bin, but sometimes what happens, if the quantity are more, the card will be misplaced with the material. Then what you should do, see in the picture, every box there is a small chit, it is attached. So if anything is reduced or increased, you will tear off that particular chit, you will attach one more chit so that it will not be misplaced. Clear? Yes, this is all about your bin card. It is maintained by the storekeeper and quantities of material are recorded are in it. It shows the receipt issue as well as balance. If you have received something, your quantity will be increased. If you have issued something, your quantity will be decreased. This is all about your bin card. The last part will be difference between bin card and store ledger. Now, you may think that sub bin card can be used in every cases. The answer is no. For example, you have a big godown and some bins or boxes are in a very high level in the top. Now, you cannot climb and put that card into the bin every time. Then what you can do, you sit in a single place, keep one ledger book. You sit in a single chair and you keep a ledger. If something is taken in the ledger, you write -10. Again, from the box 2, they have taken something in the sheet 2, you will mention -5. Like that, instead of keeping bin as well as card, you can write everything in the ledger book. Nowadays, no one is using ledger book. The same thing, whatever you are maintaining in the system, that is also we call it as ledger book. Hope you understood. The difference between bin card and ledger book is bin card in the box itself you have to attach. Ledger means you have to sit in a single place. In your book, you have to record everything. Something is issued, you have to minus. Something is received, you have to add. Everything is maintained in a single book. That is called store ledger. This is very important. Why? Because many question papers they have asked for 10 marks difference between bin card as well as store ledger. Now, bin card. Bin card is maintained by storekeeper. So store ledger, it is maintained by cost accounting department. So it is maintained by whom? This is storekeeper and this one is cost accountant. Second, it is attached to the bin, but it kept in a cost office. As I told you, there is no bin, there is no card, there is a separate book will be there that has to be maintained. Every transaction is entered in a bin card, but in transaction summarized, in bin card, every time you have to scratch and write, but in notebook, just you have to do the remaining part. Next, the record of material is made in quantity, but in the bin card, you will not mention the price, but in the store ledger, along with quantity, you have to mention the price also. That is very important. Next, entries in bin card are made and when the transaction occur. Normally, bin card, what happens? Whenever transaction occurs, you have to make a entry. But in entries are made after the transaction take place. Why? Because store ledger, that whatever happened today, you can enter tomorrow also. But bin card, as soon as the transaction happens, you have to be active and you have to do it there itself. These are the major differences between bin card as well as store ledger. How to remember? Simple. Maintained by storekeeper, maintained by cost accountant. Whatever I have made you box, those things only you should remember. Now, it is attached to the bin. So it is not attached to the bin. It is in the cost office. Now, it is entered in the bin card, but it is summarized and entered. Then, only quantity maintained. Here, quantity as well as values are maintained. Then, made and when the transaction occurs, entries are made after transactions are occurs. So, these are the major disadvantages. I'll go back to all these slides. So, wherever you want to take a screenshot, you can take. So, this is your today's agenda, your stock level, EOQ, economic order quantity, ABC analysis, your bin card, difference between bin card as well as store ledger. So this is all about your today's session. Today we done with only theory part. In the next session, we will do problems on stock levels, which are very important, as well as your 10-mark questions in your examination. Thank you.